What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Atlantic Files, the number one podcast in the number one division in the NBA, brought to you by the Underdog Sports Podcast Network. As always, joined by your hosts, myself, Alex Fishbein. We got Dennis Clausen. Mike is in the last and final week of tax season.
Nobody misses him anyways. The now that I'm back, 325 pounds of sex appeal.
Exactly.
The female viewers, Democrat, they're just tuning right in for this.
It just brings the view. The viewers flow in after that.
Hold on a second. You see, I got my hair cut.
Oh, haircut again? Okay.
I got a little beard trim for the summer.
There you
Even though it's going to grow back in 3 days, and then I'm going to have to do it again, but I went a little shorter.
I was about to say, my beard grows back in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, you're one of those guys you shave, and as soon as you're done, it just comes right back.
Exactly. Tyler, what's going on, man? How you doing today?
Tyler.
Always had to have you on.
Tyler.
Felix, what's up, dude? What's going on? Glad to have you join the show.
Hi, Felix.
And then Slow Willie told you to take your pants off.
You gotta buy me dinner first.
He likes Domino's. I'll give you that hint.
No, I'm not that. I'm not a cheap date.
But you wouldn't say no to Domino's.
I mean, I want at least Outback.
Okay. Well, he says hi. He says hi as well.
Hi, handsome. How are you? He's a good dude. He's a little slow, isn't he?
Oh, man. But
congratulations are in order to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. For all of those who don't know that are listening, I got engaged this past weekend. I proposed to my now fiance, Deanna.
You took my advice finally.
I did take your advice.
and you want to know something? I wasn't going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, I'll be your best man.
How'd you know?
We're so in sync that I'm honored but yes, I would love to do it. But, you have a brother, and, it might be a better idea to go that route. So I will step aside for that.
Okay. I mean, he probably appreciates it, so.
Yeah, I get it. But I know how you feel about me and everything, so it's the gesture and the thought that meant more to me.
Exactly. You're being the bigger man, and I appreciate
it. It's tough to do, but.
Tyler says, congratulations. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Tyler.
Yeah, it was a fun time in New Orleans. It was a stressful time trying to bring a ring on a plane and make sure I didn't lose it somewhere along the way. So
you had to go inmate style with that thing. You know what I mean?
I was sweating. I had it like tucked under all these things in my book bag, and I kept checking the bottom of my book bag like there's no holes, right?
Well, if you relax, slide it right up there. Next thing you know, big cough once you hit New Orleans, that thing come right out. And Mike knows because he does a lot of that stuff with gerbils.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yes.
Felix says, welcome to the club, now to wedding planning. Yeah, we've already started thinking of venues, and it's already too much, so. Letting her do most of that.
we know what's going to be on the dinner menu?
Not yet, but it's going to be something good. I'm thinking cocktail hour. They're going to bring some some like McGangbangs and some Dominoes.
If you did that, it'd be fucking amazing. All the guests there would go nuts.
That'd be the greatest cocktail hour ever.
Oh, yeah. You got to have the cocktail hour, and then you got to play mob hits during dinner.
Exactly. There's a whole list of things that just happen.
You're going to be meeting people you never met before in your entire life at your wedding.
Oh, I know. There's going to be way too many people there with Deanna's Italian family. So
your father, your future father-in-law's accountants, gardeners, pool guy is going to be there.
Oh God, I can only imagine right now. So,
And you got to have like some 90. Oh, hi. My dog. Hi, baby. How are you?
she approves of the cocktail hour food.
Yeah, she knows.
Oh yeah.
She's likes Domino's.
Oh
All right,
yeah.
now get off because Daddy's gonna probably start cursing here in a little bit.
He wanted to get your thoughts on the Dolphins real quick.
Well, who's gonna throw the ball to these receivers that they have? I don't trust Tua.
That's why I traded Tua to Mike.
Exactly, smart move.
Got off of Tua and got Aaron Rodgers, so I'll take it.
I don't know though. I could play their playoff team. I think
true, but also I was like, now
secondary's
who's Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to?
Alan Lazard, you,
Mike. That makes me feel so good. Oh God! But anyway, let's get into.
Don't we have something else we got to talk about?
Yeah, we got to talk about this basketball stuff.
Oh, okay.
So this week, for everyone who doesn't know, we're talking about playoff predictions.
Hookers. The playoffs.
Those two. Final season award predictions. Dennis has something to say about the Lakers, Matisse. We got Trae Young. We got Steph. We got a whole bunch of things. So, do you want to start with what you have to say about the Lakers?
No, it's not. I don't have a speech prepared. I just want to say how much they suck. So if you want to start with the Lakers, let's go ahead.
Yeah, let's start with that.
Yeah, they suck. Next topic.
So obviously, last episode we did talk about the Lakers, Mike and I. So obviously you weren't there to give your 2 cents in just the Lakers suck. What do you think about who they're going to get for coach, though?
I haven't seen anything. Have they announced anything?
They have only talked about. So apparently, somehow in like their list of coaches that they're looking at are Doc Rivers, Nick Nurse.
Right.
So 2 coaches that already have a job. LeBron apparently said in a report that he would be pretty thrilled if Mark Jackson was their coach.
I was seeing Quinn Snyder.
That's another one. But apparently Quinn Snyder is now like losing interest by the day of taking the job. Not at all. Not at all. And thank you, Willie. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Willie, if that's your real name. I love you too.
So yeah, my main thing that I was saying last week is I don't understand how 2 of the guys in their top coaches list can be in their top coaches list if they already have a job.
Well, it's CNBA. You can trade picks or, whatever the hell else they want to. Yeah, pretty much in the NBA, you can just orchestrate whatever the fuck you want to do, and it'll happen.
I mean, that's true.
There's no such thing in pro sports, especially the NBA, as contracts. There's nobody that's locked in. You could be locked into a contract all you want, but that doesn't mean anything. You're still gonna. Everybody's up for grabs. So. You could have all the tampering rules you want and all this bullshit, but none of that stuff is going to make a difference.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I think Vogel was hung out to dry. I think a lot of this stuff starts with LeBron. I think he's very disrespectful. I think he's one of the biggest crybabies on the planet. I don't ever want to hear anybody say anything about him being the greatest player on the planet. He's full of excuses. He purposely defies his coach, so much so that the other players on the team, they follow suit. They don't listen to plays. The reports came out that they were purposely, players on the team were just ignoring what Vogel wanted them to do.
Right.
You don't do that. So, and I still just, it blows my mind still too how they the organization just tries to blame all this stuff on Russell Westbrook.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, when you have a lineup toward the end of the season, DJ Augustine, Taylor Horton-Tucker, Stanley Johnson, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Avery Bradley, you're going to fucking hang Russell Westbrook out to dry and say his turnovers and his regression in production is the reason why your team sucks?
Not mentioning the fact that Anthony Davis missed like half the season.
Hey, I was going there. I was going there.
Oh, I know.
That was the money shot right there. I was getting. So the thing is like Russell Westbrook, I hope he gets traded. They're talking about trading him for John Wall again. That bullshit started. Please get him out of there. Russell Westbrook is too good for that team. LeBron, already there's rumors and things about him not staying there, not signing an extension. Let him go. All right, the best, just let him go. And Anthony Davis, let him go as soon as you can too, because that fool never can stay healthy ever. He's the most injury-prone guy on the planet.
And not just that, he's going to be more and more injury-prone as he gets older. Because usually when you get older, the injuries become bigger.
At his age, you should be hard as a rock all the time. You should be made of granite steel, and you should be. He needs to go see a bone specialist or something, because this dude is just constantly hurt. There's no toughness coming out of him. He's a joke. He's an absolute joke. And for like, this all goes back to the guys that are on the bench texting. Mm-hmm. There's that report, guys are on the bench texting. Now Frank Vogel can't do anything about that because he doesn't have control of that team. Anybody knows whoever is the coach on a LeBron James team, who's really coaching that team.
Exactly.
And then they were like, well, Frank Vogel would have been let go had Jayson Kidd been on the staff. Well, here's how stupid they are in Los Angeles. They were talking about firing Frank Vogel last season. So why would you let Jayson Kidd go?
Exactly.
Because I have a feeling that was like the grand plan all along.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So why would you let him go? If you wanted Jayson Kidd that bad, which you could have had him, all you had to do was get rid of Vogel before the season even started. And they didn't. So they couldn't even do that right.
And now Jayson Kidd, he's in what, Dallas?
Dallas.
And they're making the playoffs.
And they're doing pretty well. So, but.
And on top of that, the whole thing with the way that it was handled, how the Lakers fired Vogel in the first place. Like, they didn't even talk to him. It was all these tweets coming out. They let it leak and everything. And he didn't even get like a direct call from them to say like, hey, we're replacing you, or hey, we're letting you go. It was just kind of like he had to answer a question in a press conference where he was like, I didn't hear shit. And then the next day it's just more Woj tweets like, yeah, he's fired. And then the Lakers like say like, oh, thanks.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. We wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here with that shit. That team. Nothing good is going to come out of Los Angeles because they don't have the ability to replenish. They knew that when you lock up Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, you're not going to have any money to make any other moves outside of league minimum. And when you go the league minimum route, you're going to end up with guys like Malik Monk, DJ Augustine.
Yep.
And Stanley Johnson and Carmelo Anthony and Dwight Howard.
And I would say
fucking DeAndre Jordan before he that's exactly what you're going to end up with.
Exactly. Their best move was buying out DeAndre Jordan.
And that actually wasn't even a good move.
True. I mean, compared to what else they have, true.
So you're going to blame it because Russ turns the ball over. He's not scoring like he used to score. I know when LeBron's on the court, Russ plays pretty goddamn well.
Yeah.
And he could still play well. And then you got these idiot Lakers. I'm sorry, honey. One more.
No, go ahead.
You got these idiot Lakers fans just threatening to kill his family. Get him the fuck out of there.
if Russell Westbrook played with the Knicks this year instead of the Lakers, the Knicks probably would finish ahead of the Lakers.
The Knicks would be in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, the Knicks would definitely be in the playoffs.
At least the play-in.
And it would mainly be led by Russell Westbrook. Because, I mean, if you... And that was the other thing, is like, Russell even said in his press conferences and everything, he didn't know what Frank Vogel had against him. And he even talked about, like, he sent champagne to, like, Vogel's house or something for him and his wife's anniversary.
Oh,
blah, blah,
yeah.
blah. Like,
yeah, oh, yeah.
Like, Westbrook...
That's going to be you at the honeymoon.
True. So, like, the dude's a good guy. Anyone on any team that hates Westbrook is either because you're jealous of him or you don't know what else to do. Like, other than that, I just don't get it. And then on top of that, you have Anthony Davis and LeBron and everyone come into their press conferences saying, you know, like, let Russ be Russ, even though nobody let him be him.
No, it's LeBron does that. He you know, we're homies, we're cool, and yeah, I don't buy a goddamn thing. You and I think Russ sees through the bullshit. You know what I mean? So whenever you watch those guys on the floor, they never really looked like they were. And if you were gonna if you look at it, like LeBron looks kind of scared of Russell Westbrook, to be honest with you, and he should be.
He definitely should be.
So I hope Russell Westbrook gets the hell out of there.
I agree. And
I agree, Tyler.
I also agree, Tyler. It's definitely sad seeing all the hate. I mean, even his wife had to tweet and stuff about how people are sending her hate mail and all sorts of things. Like, come on, people. First off, it's basketball. Like, this isn't life or death. Second of all, most of these Lakers fans doing this are probably the ones that are also like the Cowboys fans, the Tom Brady fans, the ones who are probably Michael Jordan fans back in the day that switched to the Lakers the moment Michael Jordan retired.
Yeah, once Kobe was there.
Yeah. So it's ridiculous. But
I hope, like I said, I hope Russell Westbrook just gets the hell out of there, because he is too good for that place. And LeBron just can't. LeBron played well, but he's nowhere near as dominant. LeBron's taken just as much. Like, LeBron's played on some shitty teams, all right?
Oh yeah.
But he was a lot younger and a lot more dynamic. So LeBron just can't. His ego won't let him acknowledge the fact that he wasn't doing anybody any favors anyway.
Exactly.
Even though LeBron was playing well, he can't just. That team is a mess. And if I get rid of Anthony Davis as soon as you can, I would trade him for Julius Randle right now.
I mean, a lot of those young guys that the Lakers don't have anymore are looking pretty damn good.
Lonzo Ball,
Brandon Ingram,
Alex Caruso, Julius Randle, D'Angelo Russell, Kyle Kuzma.
Even look at JaVale McGee.
The best backup center in the league.
Exactly. And they just let him go for nothing.
Bro, Kyle Kuzma wore a pink sweater that was 5 times too big for him. And the sleeves were too long. You remember that?
Yeah.
And he still looks better not being on that team.
Exactly.
He looks like a superstar.
And look at Andre Drummond. Looks way better.
Ballin'.
In Philly and in Brooklyn looks way better than he did last year with the Lakers.
Yep, the Lakers are a death sentence.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. And while we're on the topic, we'll just go to this other one real quick. They were talking, I forget who was interviewing Steph Curry at the time, but they said how on LeBron's show, The Shop, they asked like what player, if anybody, he would still want to play with, and he said Steph Curry, so they asked Steph Curry about it. And Steph was just like, yeah, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't think it was as malicious as people made it sound. Like, yeah. But it was like I'm cool with LeBron. We played All-Star, blah blah blah. But I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
Because
gonna. I
who
got
wants to?
Clay. I got Draymond.
Exactly. With a team like Golden State, who could be a championship contender still for the next couple seasons,
Right.
and combined with the fact that everywhere LeBron has been now since his second, I'd say since Miami, is just filled with drama and all sorts of stupid stuff for no reason, and people getting fired for any little mistake that they make. Like, why would you want to play with that compared to the really good situation he's in Golden State?
Well, this is LeBron throwing out a lifeline,
Oh yeah,
or looking for a life vest because he knows that we'll get at least something going, and if there's any chance that he can go to Golden State and try to have Steph Curry and Clay carry his dumb ass to another championship, that's what he's hoping for.
oh yeah,
And if he goes to Golden State, he's probably not going to have to sell his house, and his kids can still go to their stupid schools out there and all that other stuff. So
that's true. And I really have a feeling that he got a little butt hurt when the
whoa,
Lakers couldn't make a
can
deal.
you say that?
When the Lakers couldn't make a deal to get Ben Simmons out there. Because, that was his like protege. He's in Clutch Sports already and everything like that. And Ben loves that LA lifestyle.
He was crushing a Kardashian. Wasn't he crushing a Kardashian at one point?
Yeah, and then she left him for Devin Booker.
Which one?
You
know what? Who cares?
I don't know.
Anyway,
it was one of the Jenners. I mean, pretty much same
thing. Yeah.
I
was going to say the one with the big ass, but that doesn't narrow it down at all either.
Not really. But yeah, I still think he got all butthurt about that because that's his like little brother. So I don't know.
I think Ben is good right where he's at.
Yeah, as long as he plays, it sounds kind of promising right now with everything, all the reports.
There's been reports.
Yeah, so
there's been reports.
Speaking of that, and the Brooklyn Nets, they solidified their playoff seeds. So let's take
know what that is?
Your rock hard.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
All the time.
They solidified the 7th seed, so they play Boston first round. The other team to win the first play-in game was Minnesota over the Clippers, so they will play Memphis in the first round. I
was tired today because I actually stayed up and watched the entire game.
Was it good? Because I did not.
Yeah, they beat Patrick Beverley on his man's Paul George, locked him up.
That I did see all the highlights of them celebrating and everything, and Beverly like jumping on the scorer's table and stuff. That was pretty funny.
I tell you, Beverly's a guy, and I've always liked him because he's a nasty guy. He's a pain in the ass. He gets on everybody's ass, and he's just talks shit, and I love it.
Oh yeah,
there were technical fouls and all that stuff, and I love that.
He's one of those guys when you're not playing against him, he's fun to watch because he's like a funny, like the energy's great and what he says is funny. But then the moment he's playing your team, you're like, all right, shut the hell up.
Yeah, get off of me.
But no, I mean, hey, it's nice seeing Minnesota finally back in the playoffs. It's only their second time in the playoffs since the Kevin Garnett days.
You say finally back in the playoffs, like they were in it so much before.
Well, they were in the Kevin Garnett days.
I was like 12.
I know. The only other time they made it was with True. The only other time they made it was with Jimmy Butler, so they needed something. The other playing games going on right now, the 9 versus 10 seeds are happening for both conferences. Right now, as we speak, the Hawks are beating the Hornets 23-13. Spurs and Pelicans play later tonight.
So yeah, I called the whole thing that I'm saying the Hawks are going to beat the Hornets.
Okay.
And then I still would say the Cavaliers over. I changed my mind from earlier. I think the Cavaliers could beat the Hornets, especially if Jared Allen is back
Okay.
for that. I think the Spurs are going to beat the Pelicans,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think the Clippers will beat the Pelicans.
When Mike and I talked about the play-in last week, I think I had Nets and Hawks, and then I had um, Minnesota and Spurs, actually.
I tell you, the Minnesota Clippers game could have gone either way because they were both back and forth for a while. So I used to hate the play-in tournament, but I love it.
Oh, yeah. No, I
I
think it's
really
great.
love it. I think it is a great idea. I
Yeah.
like the way it's structured and everything.
Especially if they, I mean, we'll talk about this later with the whole Adam Silver thing, but especially if they made it like a 72 game season so that people didn't have to like be killing themselves all year and then get to a play-in and then get to the playoffs. Like,
They play 82 games,
I know
and guys don't even play the 82 games out of there.
that's true.
With the
But
way things go on now, I mean, oh, I can't play. I have a head cold.
oh, my pinky toe hurts.
Yeah, sorry.
But we'll get into that though. But
I
so
don't care you bought a $3,000 courtside seat, but I can't do it tonight, guys. Sorry.
exactly.
Sorry,
I
TNT. You will see the LeBronless Lakers up against the Sacramento Kings, who also won't have De'Aaron Fox or Domantas Sabonis. So enjoy.
exactly. And I was finally going to see LeBron in person this year when the Lakers came to play the Sixers. I'm like, all right, I got season tickets for the first time, maybe only time, depending on how pricey they still
Yeah, you're
keep
getting married. Those days are coming to an end, honey.
Exactly.
Time for a minivan.
Not that far yet.
Oh, it'll come quick
Um,
in more ways than one. Next thing you know, it's over.
oh, God. That makes everything sound so depressing.
Like I said.
But it like I was finally gonna see LeBron play, and then he was out with like a sore knee, and then I didn't even see. Or Anthony Davis actually did play that time, but the game still was. It was like eh. I mean, the Sixers won and all, but it is what it is. And then just watching the Sixers Lakers game, which was at LA, watching on TV, LeBron out again. So it was just like, all right, I guess he's just never gonna play the Sixers then. But speaking of the playoffs, so you had Brooklyn and Cleveland for the play-in, and then Minnesota, and you said the Clippers are gonna end up getting the 8th seed.
Yeah, I could see the Clippers. I think they'll end up playing the Pelicans, and then they'll beat the Pelicans for
Okay.
that 8 seed.
All right, so in terms of the East, so that would set up Miami versus, I mean, I'm saying Hawks, you're saying Cleveland, so Miami versus one of those two. Do you think there's any upset in there?
No,
'Cause
I think the Hawks are going to beat the Hornets.
No, I know, but I'm saying once they do, like, and then Cleveland beats them, for your prediction, it would be Miami versus Cleveland. For my prediction, it would be Miami versus Atlanta. For that first,
You know, and
seed.
I totally juggled the teams around in my head like an idiot. So to be when the Hawks beat the Hornets, they're going to play Cleveland.
Yeah.
Right. I must be tired or something because I was throwing teams out. Why don't I just say the Pacers when they beat the Pacers?
Exactly.
So I think the Hawks will beat Cleveland, and then I could see the Clippers beating the Spurs.
Okay. So we both
That
have
makes sense now.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
So we both have the Hawks getting the 8th seed then.
Right.
And this goes actually with Tyler's question here. He's asking, do we think any of the play-in teams could cause an upset in the playoffs? So, Brooklyn over Boston? I mean,
It's going to be 4-2.
if there's anybody to pull that upset, the most confidence I would have in any of these teams is Brooklyn.
The Brooklyn Nets, the only reason they're not a higher seed right now is because Kevin Durant was on the shelf for most of the year. Well, for a good portion of the year, and New York City had some bullshit vaccination laws that prevented Kyrie Irving from actually playing on the floor, being on the court.
That's true.
So I don't even consider them a playing team.
Mm-hmm.
They could have been a number 2, number 3, number 4 seed in that area. So the Boston Celtics, I've never been impressed with the Celtics. You and I talked about it. They beat a lot of, especially they played the Pistons 96 times this season. So that's exaggeration, of course, but
no, I got you.
They beat a bunch of scrubs on their way to number 2, and everybody's making a big deal about the Boston Celtics. I'm here to tell everybody right now, when the Brooklyn Nets get their hands on the Boston Celtics, it's lights out.
Oh, okay.
It's lights out. They're not going to have Robert Williams. Drummond's playing out of his mind. They're not going to be able to keep him off the glass. Nico Claxton's been shit hot.
Claxton had a great game against
Bruce Brown's been shit hot. Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Just those two. And we're not even factoring in that there's still a chance that Ben Simmons could come back in.
True.
Could play. So Kyrie Irving right now is playing on a MVP level. He's playing like the best player in the league right now.
When I turned on the game and I saw he was 12 for 12, I was sitting there, I was like, is that real or is that a typo? Like, he hasn't missed yet?
And now what's sad is, like, he doesn't even look like he tries.
No, it looks too easy for him at times.
He might be one of the most naturally gifted basketball players I've ever seen in my entire life.
Because you can look at him and see that guy doesn't lift weights.
He doesn't lift weights. Who does? Like, I could picture him during that whole vaccination period where he wasn't playing high dog. He was probably smoking weed, meditating. He wasn't doing shit.
No.
He comes
was no
on
way
and
he was working out.
No. Still don't like him, but I've always gone on record and said that Kyrie Irving is a fantastic player. He's just a pain in the ass.
Right. Which he is. I mean,
right.
It is what
he's
it is.
Whacked.
Yeah. So, but okay. All right. All right. We get
I don't
it.
like Kyrie either.
Kyrie's crazy. I know. But yeah. So Kyrie has definitely taken the Nets himself up to a crazy level. And then you factor in the fact that Kevin Durant, I mean, that game against Cleveland, Kevin Durant didn't even have that good of a game.
Right.
For a while, he was shooting like 3 for 12.
Right. The assists were great though.
Oh yeah. But that the pick and roll game with Bruce Brown
and Claxton
that was
break.
That was insane. And if Boston doesn't, I mean, don't get me wrong, Al Horford is still a good defender, but without Robert Williams, the defense is nowhere near as good as it could be.
He ain't ready.
Yeah. So
what are you gonna do? Throw Grant Williams out there? Daniel Tice?
Oh, Daniel Tice gets cooked every time.
Good luck, honey.
By everybody.
KD's coming. Kyrie's coming. And you know Kyrie, there's nothing more he would love to do than to shit all over the Boston fans.
Oh, for sure. That's on the top of his list.
And then the Celtics done 4-2. It's over. Lights out.
I actually think the Nets. I still think the Nets are going to win, but I have it in 7. Just because if Robert Williams comes back or if something happens, he
ain't coming back.
Whatever it may be,
at least this round.
True.
And if he does, what's he going to do? Play 10 minutes?
That might be better than 10 minutes of Daniel Tice.
10 minutes, not enough.
True. I mean, I agree.
So the Nets, they just got to figure out how to fucking score when KD and Kyrie aren't on the floor.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest issue.
And there's a little, question on intensity on both ends of the floor. And I like Steve Nash calls out people. And the one thing about having a coach like that is that Steve Nash is just as good or possibly better of a point guard than or a player than Kyrie or Kevin Durant are. So he has the cred to back up what he's saying. Like, you can't question him because that fucking guy is one of the, or you could make the best point guard ever. So,
True.
yeah.
No, I agree. And then the other play-in team that would be making it, according to our predictions, would be Atlanta. They'd be playing Miami. I don't think Atlanta's going to beat Miami. I think they might.
I don't know.
I think they might take 2 games from them. Like, I think it could go 6, but I would still put Miami. Just defensively, Miami, especially if Atlanta doesn't have John Collins. Like, Collins doesn't look even close to playing.
Yeah, but I don't think John Collins is that much of a factor on that team. I think kind of in a way the Hawks got better without him because they could stretch things out, move things around. They're a good shooting team.
The only thing is Collins was so important to Trae Young's pick and roll game as well as from the corner during their postseason run last year. So I just don't know if they have the same potential.
I don't know. I just think there's so many guys who could get hot on that team scoring.
That's true. No, they're filled with shooters and scorers.
Tons of white guys who could shoot.
That's for sure. I mean, they showed last season the moment they get hot, they put up like 130, 140 points. So, yeah, they got plenty of people who can score. I just don't.
Why don't they just trade? Why don't they trade Butler to Los Angeles and get Russ to Miami? Imagine if that shit happened.
That'd be pretty fun to watch.
I kind of feel like that would be something that's going to get, because I don't think Butler's going to last in Miami after this season.
I mean, Butler's another guy that's just falling apart right now.
He always had. I mean, maybe one day people will start listening to me. When I was sitting there, I fucking scream and I say this guy is a mess. He's another one. Street clothes, hurt all the time.
I mean, his first 3-4 seasons he was fine, but he had Tibbs coaching him. So he played 40 minutes a game for 82 games for 3-4 seasons, and his legs just fell apart.
Well, he had a broken leg and a torn Achilles his first 2 seasons in the league, but he was too scared to tell Tibbs that he was hurt.
I would be too with Tibbs.
So what do you mean you're hurt?
He'd be like, all right, you're playing 42 minutes this time.
Yeah, this is 44. I don't know if I sound like Tibbs or Coach O from LSU.
I mean, probably both.
We got to get the 4th down,
Have you have you been watching that HBO series about
Pornhub? No. Oh.
No,
I haven't been watching Pornhub, man. That's a weird question.
It's called Winning Time, the Lakers thing on HBO.
No, but I do want to watch that. Is it, for one, let me ask you a couple questions here, okay?
Okay.
Is it out in one block?
I think the first season is fully out now.
Because I won't watch something unless everything is out. I'm not paying for a service and to have to wait.
Right.
I want to watch that fucking thing in one sitting.
I think the first season is fully out because I just read that they got renewed for a second season. So, as of right now, first season is out, but you would have to wait for the second one. But I can say that the first season, I'm not done the whole first season yet, but it's really well done.
Like chicks and stuff in it?
Yeah, there are.
Like get naked?
Yeah, it's HBO. They show everything.
Is it like 80s boob?
Yes.
There's the women in the 80s looked a little different.
Well, it's so the whole style of the show is obviously everyone is from today, but like they make the film and they dress up and everything like it's the 70s, 80s. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But do they make the women look like they did were in the 70s?
kind of,
Okay.
pretty
Know what I mean?
much.
Know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
I mean, not like they're not
Yeah.
all. As far as I've seen, they're not all natural.
Okay. Well, this is why we're a good team because I was hoping you were going to get what I was saying. Like,
Yeah,
are we that 70s?
Not that 70s.
Okay. But do you even find out if they're that 70s?
I mean, I haven't yet.
It is HBO. See,
Yeah.
that's the thing about all these other places you can go to enjoy this kind of stuff is you're spoiled.
True.
Like there's like you would just expect this stuff now. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Like when I was like 12, I had to like pray to God like there was a movie with some chick in it, topless. And that's as good as I was getting back then. Now you can literally just go anywhere and you can literally find anything you want.
Oh, I know. It's on every TV show and every movie now.
And I hate this OnlyFans stuff though. Not just Mike's, but
I was about to say that's how Mike makes his living.
But ladies, have some respect in yourselves. Let's stop with the OnlyFans. And you know what makes it worse is that there are OnlyFans where chicks don't get like take anything off,
Mm-hmm.
and there's guys who paying for it.
Because guys are horny for everything.
That's what I'm saying. Guys are disgusting.
They are.
And women are that's what we were talking before it came out about how like strong women are. You know, they give birth, and us guys are just a bunch of just pussies about everything. About women are also intelligent because they're smart enough to know that guys will pay money for basically nothing.
Oh yeah. I remember reading an article that said the top money making OnlyFans was some girl that acted like a dog.
I like her.
Like they're smart enough to make money off of this and just be like, you guys are idiots.
But that scares me about the world. Like,
oh, the world's messed up.
Have we been like that all along? Where like we always wanted women to be dogs, or is this something that somebody brought up and like all of a sudden go, oh, that's not bad?
The internet has shown that there are a lot of people that have thought this way.
And that's where the internet is. Like when the internet first came out, it was like you get all this information to anything. You don't need to go get a book anymore. You can go to the World Wide Web. I never in a million years back then when that was coming out that the internet would just be a gateway to porn.
I mean, that's how people think.
So Lakers.
Yeah. Tyler asked if that show was good. Yes,
What,
the show is
porn?
good.
Oh, that show.
The Lakers show.
Oh.
I think he probably has already seen that by now.
Don't you accuse. Tyler's a very nice boy.
He's innocent.
Yes.
But anyway, yes, the show is good. So back to the actual playoff predictions. So yeah, I think that Miami's going to beat Atlanta, and then I also agree that Brooklyn is going to beat Boston.
Oh shit.
The dog is going nuts. He's got ultra zoomies.
Is that the missus? You can bring her on to say hello?
Yeah. The people want to know if the fiance is going to say hello.
Oh, I'm so sweaty now.
No, come on. We want to say, come on.
He
No,
said,
we don't care.
Dennis says, no, we don't care. Come on.
We want to say congratulations.
I'm so sweaty.
He says he wants to say congratulations.
I'm sweaty too, and I'm just sitting here.
And he said he's also sweaty.
And I'm just sitting here.
And he's just sitting here.
And I live at one. I won't give.
Sweaty.
He wants you to come on and say hi.
There she is. Hi. Hi.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're gonna be so beautiful. It's gonna be great.
I hope so.
Yes. Did he tell you I talked him into that?
No, he didn't mention that part.
I've been telling him
Okay.
he needs to get smart and start
So
locking
does that
you
mean you
up.
pay for half of it?
I'm not your dad. I have my own problems, 10, 15 years down the line. So
That's true.
yes.
Yeah, start saving now.
Well, I got this tax guy who keeps sending me a bill too for all these taxes I gotta pay. So
I know, right?
congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice
Go
seeing
Sixers.
you. I don't know about that. Go back to doing whatever you were doing, but don't say that again. What the fuck is going on? What's going on tonight?
The dog's literally going nuts. He got the zoomies. He started tearing around.
And get lost.
But anyway, basketball. So yeah. Oh, the dog's back.
Oh, I thought that was me breathing heavy again.
Nope. So yeah, I also have Brooklyn beating Boston. Here, I'll bring up the standings here.
Yeah, do your thing.
For those that might not know by now. I mean, by now people should know. But so I have Miami winning. Then we got Brooklyn beating Boston. I have Milwaukee beating Chicago. I have the Sixers, and I'm very hesitant about this series, the Sixers versus Toronto. I have the Sixers winning in 7. But,
yeah, that one's going to be a tough one. Those are both good teams.
Yes, and my main issue here is that the Sixers don't play well against Toronto. They just don't.
Well, I got a secret for you. A lot of teams don't play that well against Toronto.
I mean, also true.
I mean, I said it, a couple months ago. I said Toronto's a team that could go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's true. And I mean, there's a clip on our YouTube about me and you talking about how the Toronto Raptors were a playoff team the moment Siakam got back. And what happened? They get a 5th seed. So,
and like Siakam's like a new man. He's like Siakam 2.0.
I know he's not just doing spin moves 24/7. He's actually throwing everything out there.
Yeah, him and Fred VanVleet are just they're a good 1-2 punch. And then the fact that they added my man's Scotty Barnes, the rookie of the year. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree.
Rookie of the year. Gary Trent playing, can fill in, and OG and any of the 5 guys they got up at the 5 so they're a deep team. I think they're a lot deeper than Philly is.
No, for sure. They're a much deeper team than Philly. Most teams are deeper than Philly. Philly's bench has been god awful. Their bench scoring has been at the bottom of the NBA. And it's actually funny because a lot of the times when people are debating MVP, they talk about Jokic not having great teammates and everything like that. But Denver's bench scoring is even better than the Sixers. So
yeah, Jokic has but I mean, at least I'm trying to think who started. I would say Philly's starting lineup is better, obviously, because they got James Harden. Yeah,
I mean Harden, Maxey, Tobias. They're all better than anybody around Jokic.
I mean, Jokic is having what did I just see? He's the first player to have 2,000 points.
Oh, yeah.
2,000, 1,000, and 1,000?
2,000, 1,000, and 500, I think.
Yes. I mean, that's MVP stuff right there.
Oh, it is.
The fact that he's lead. Go to the Western Conference, please. I want to see. Thank you.
6th seed.
Okay, so the fact that Jokic did that, who's the number 2 scoring option on that team right now? Aaron Gordon?
Probably.
Jeff Green? It's not even like he starts. Jeff Green starts. Monty Morris is your starting point guard.
If I go to their stats, so Jokic is at 27 points a game. Aaron Gordon is second highest at 15.
Wow.
And then Barton at 14.7. And then Monty Morris, Jeff Green, and Bones Highland.
For a guy to lead his team to the 6th seed in a Western Conference like that behind Utah, Dallas, Golden State, Memphis, and Phoenix, 5 pretty good teams. Well, 2 are really good, and 3 are really good, and 2 were like, okay, they're good.
Yeah.
But this guy literally carried the entire team on his back. I'm advocating for a split 50-50 Embiid, Jokic MVP.
Co-MVPs?
They need to make it. The NFL did it.
Didn't the NBA do that one year? Or am I thinking of All-Star?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I thought Shaq won a co-MVP with somebody. Maybe I'm thinking of All-Star if he won co-MVP with like Kobe or something.
Yeah, wasn't it like fine? Like,
let's see. Has there? Yeah, it looks like only All-Star.
right?
Yeah, so. And yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Kobe and Shaq both won. They won co-MVP at the All-Star game in 2009. But yeah, so I wouldn't be upset if any one of Embiid, Jokic, or Giannis won the MVP. I think those 3 are the 3 most deserving. If anyone outside of those 3 wins MVP, I think it's ridiculous.
I don't understand how anybody could say that I mean, Steph Curry was in the running at the start of the season. He spent a lot of time on the shelf.
Yep.
Kevin Durant was in the running. He spent time. The only guy that you can possibly put into that equation would be Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
So Giannis, maybe Luka, maybe Morant, maybe, but those guys, they're just shy of where. Well, Giannis is just shy. Luka is, I would say, he's like 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And then Morant maybe like 5, or even Durant right now you could say 5, but he was just hurt a lot. And Morant spent a long time on the shelf this season too. So
I saw a lot of people voting for Devin Booker. And I'm
that was a good. I mean, you could make the case for that.
I mean, I know you can make the case, but the case is not stronger than Embiid, Jokic, or Giannis.
Well, you can make a case for anything. I can try to make a case for Markieff Morris to be MVP. Doesn't mean it's going to be a good one.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But we'll get to awards in a second. But anyway, so I'm always worried when the Sixers play the Raptors. Even when, the team was a little different, the Sixers still didn't play well against them. But now, on top of that, Matisse, I got this has to be its own little topic right here, because I have to be fair in terms of I gave Kyrie a lot of shit for not being vaccinated. I got to give the same amount of shit to Matisse. But not just that. Apparently Matisse got the first shot, but just never got the second one. So it's like, how did you go half in this whole time and then never get the second shot? And there was this whole thing about his mom was apparently like a doctor of natural medicines, and they said she was a naturopath or whatever. So essentially it was like the female Kyrie thinking of all these herbal medicines and stuff like that. But like, you still got the first shot.
I mean, I sometimes, half in is all you need. Not in this case.
Not in this case.
Because you ain't going to Canada to get some of those poontang. The gravy and the fries.
Right. Oh, poutine.
Yeah, Poontang. I was saying, you ain't going there unless you got both shots.
Exactly.
Maybe 4 by now. Who the fuck knows?
And that's the Sixers' best defensive player. And that, I know offensively he's been very limited, but he's also at times with James Harden looked pretty good, especially when he's actively cutting off the ball and doing all sorts of things. Like he has looked pretty good with James Harden. But it's just like it just comes off as super selfish to me to, like, we talked about Kyrie being selfish. It comes off as super selfish to me, the fact that you only got one of the shots, and we're not even talking about Johnson and Johnson. So, like, you knew you had to get 2, but you only got 1, and now you can't help your team in the most important part of the season.
Yeah, but you know what would fix this problem? If Tobias Harris would actually score and make up the difference. So,
That's
I
also
mean,
true.
losing Matisse sucks, but it's not a... You still got Joel Embiid.
No, it's true. I'm just talking about the defensive side of things. Offense, you know, like Matisse is only giving you like 5-6 points a game. But
If you're lucky.
right. But defensively, there's no one else on the team doing what he does defensively. Danny Green maybe could have back in like 4 seasons ago.
Is he still in the league?
Barely. So
Tell you, that's the luckiest son of a bitch, though. He's making like 10, 12 million and like do nothing.
oh, I know. And has 3 rings.
Yeah. Tell you, that guy's lucky.
But anyway, I had to give Matisse shit for that because I gave Kyrie a bunch of shit. So back to the playoff predictions. So as I said, I think the Sixers win in 7. So then that sets up I think that sets up Sixers versus Miami and Brooklyn versus Milwaukee.
Kevin Durant almost beat Milwaukee by himself last year.
He did.
They only lost by a Mike Bash. 2 inches. Maybe even less than that. You know what I mean?
I do. I wasn't prepared for that joke at first. But I don't know. Milwaukee's still really good.
So are the Nets.
They are.
And the Nets.
Everyone wants to see that series.
And the Nets have Andre Drummond. So if Brook Lopez thinks he's going to pull that shit on the glass that he did last year, nope. Ain't
That's
happening.
True. That's true. But
Nico Claxton finally hit puberty during the season, so he looks like a man now.
even Tyler liked that joke you had about Mike.
Thank you, Tyler.
See, he's not that innocent. But no, the Nets.
So basically, what I'm saying
different.
is the Nets are going to win the championship.
That's your official prediction right there.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah,
Against who?
the Suns.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen is Chris Paul's going to get hurt between now and the finals, and Jay Crowder might tweak an ankle or something, and yeah, it's over.
I'm saying so. My prediction,
Bruh, the Nets were a completely different team against the Cavs. That's a playoff team right there. And they actually have Kyrie Irving healthy. And he looks better now. I told you, the best thing that could ever happen was the fact that Kyrie wasn't playing because of the bullshit vaccine. I think it was all a ploy from the get-go. They're like, we're going to keep this guy healthy, but we're going to blame it on the city.
I mean, it definitely could have been.
He
could
looks
have been
like
playing all along.
He looks like he's playing like game number 15 of the regular season. You can't. He's out of his mind right now.
He does look insane.
He looks like the best player in the NBA right now.
So, I was gonna say before, like last week, that the finals would have been Golden State versus Milwaukee. However, Steph Curry got hurt. So now they don't even know when Steph Curry's going to come back in this first round. And it's not like they have a walkover first round. I mean, they still have to face Denver. Denver's not like a walkover team. Like, as long as Jokic is there, that's a hard team to beat.
And they don't have anybody in the middle that can slow him down.
No, not at all.
Come on, Looney, get out of the way.
Kuminga, no.
Come bucket, get lost.
Even, you would probably have to put Draymond on him, but then
He'll get hurt.
yeah, like Jokic is going to find a way.
Impose his will.
Exactly. So without Steph, I have no confidence in Golden State.
I do because Clay's fucking nuts right now too.
No, he is, but like,
and the Warriors too is like Jordan Poole could get nasty and the come bucket could get going, and
the only thing is they need Wiggins to play like he did in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but
he's kind of disappeared.
He did.
But which I'm glad I traded him to Mike so that he could disappear for Mike.
Yeah, well, who traded him to you?
Was that you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was you.
Oh, did we ever tell everybody that I won the Atlantic Files Dynasty League?
We did tell everyone last week.
That's right.
Mike wanted to avoid you gloating about it.
Oh, he's still gonna get it when Mike started his shit, and I go, bitch, I've been slapping that fat ass all year long in fantasy hoops.
You didn't lose to him once, did you?
Nope. He was calling me daddy. I was
so.
smacking that ass all over the place.
Oh God. But to wrap up this whole playoff prediction thing, what I was saying was that's what I originally thought before, but now with all the injuries and things that have happened, I don't see it that way anymore. I think it's going to be Phoenix versus Brooklyn as well. However, I have Phoenix winning in 7.
Nah.
I have Chris Paul finally getting his ring.
Nah, he's cool. He's
Mikal Bridges getting Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Devin Booker going crazy.
Nah,
DeAndre Ayton neutralizing Andre Drummond.
Why does he look like he's 50 already?
He does look. He has that Greg Oden effect.
Yeah, like he looks like he's like 50.
And he's like one of the youngest centers in the league.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. What? Like he could go to Denny's and ask for like the senior discount and nobody would card him.
Oh yeah. For sure. But so we had the same finals but different winners. We'll get what Mike thinks, I guess, sometime. He's not watching this time, so he can't comment.
Good.
So real quick rundown.
Actually do his job for once.
Yeah, exactly. And stop billing us all the time.
Right, asshole.
Real quick rundown. Your final predictions for the end of the season awards, the regular season awards.
Joel Embiid MVP. Sixth Man of the Year, Tyler Hero. Most Improved, Jordan Poole. Coach of the Year. They give it to one each conference. I like Bickerstaff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I still would give it to Michael Malone.
Okay.
I mean, what the guy's done with the Nuggets, like just from how shit they've been. True. So, like, yeah, I would certainly give it to him. What other awards we got?
Defensive Player of the Year.
I still would give it to Rudy Gobert, but I have a feeling it's going to go to Bridges.
Okay.
Taylor Jenkins maybe for Coach of the Year.
That's also a good one.
What else am I omitting?
You already said Sixth Man. You already said Most Improved. I think that's it. I think you're good. My MVP, I want Embiid to win, obviously, but I think everyone's going to vote Jokic.
Can Can we do a stat comparison? Can you do that thing you do?
Yeah, with Jokic and Embiid,
Yeah.
I can definitely do that.
I've been meaning to do this, but I was too busy watching wrestling lately. It's busy.
Let's see. Here we go, and I can bring.
I mean,
this
I don't watch wrestling. That's stuff for nerds.
I used to watch wrestling back in the day, actually.
Who didn't?
That's true. All right. So, Embiid obviously has the edge in scoring. He actually officially won the scoring title. First center to win the scoring title since Shaq. Jokic, though, beating him in rebounds, 13-11, beating him in assists. Slight edge in steals. Embiid has the edge in blocks. Embiid has less turnovers. Percentage-wise, Embiid's is lower, but three-point percentage-wise, Embiid is higher. They're both about an 81% free throw shooter, but Embiid averages 11 attempts a game. So yeah, and then plus minus, I mean, Jokic plus 442, Embiid plus 367.
I mean, when you look at those totals, though, it would kind of suggest that Jokic has been more consistent.
I mean, especially in an all-around facet.
I have a feeling that, like, Embiid had some really, really, really good games, and then there were some, like, good games, but nothing like his really, really, really good games, which kind of skewed his averages. You know what I mean?
Well, I remember seeing some sort of stat that was like, he's the only person in the league to have multiple 40 and 10 games, Embiid.
Right, so that would make sense then.
Yeah. And I mean, he had I'm pretty sure he had a 50-point game.
And I would give him the MVP just because he's fucking stayed healthy. I never thought that would happen.
He only missed, 14 games?
Oh, yeah, 14.
That's it. That's crazy. And honestly, almost all of those came in the beginning of the season when he had COVID.
The vid, so you can't really count those.
Yeah. So it has been pretty impressive in that regard.
I think if you had COVID, you could just strike it off the record.
I think so too. I mean, it's not like you can control that.
Right.
So
it's like if you miss work at like a regular job, they're like, oh, we can't count this against you. It's the vid.
Right. And then they still had to pay you.
Right.
So, no, I agree. But, yeah, I mean, they both have done very impressive things. Like we just said, Jokic, the first guy to get 1,000 or 2,000, 1,500. And then Embiid, the first center to get a scoring title since Shaq. Also, he moved up the all-time scoring leaderboards of the Sixers, and he also has the most 30 and 15 games, or the most 40 and 10 games, stuff like that. So they both have done impressive things, but I just think in this day and age, with all of the advanced stats and stuff, they're gonna go Jokic. So,
well, that's racist. I'm gonna say Embiid.
I agree, it's racist. It should be Embiid. But defensive player of the year, I'm gonna say Bridges. I actually was just reading this thing about how Doris Burke voted for Marcus Smart, which isn't a bad vote for defensive player of the year. If Draymond was healthier, I probably would have picked Draymond, but he was hurt.
He never is. So
exactly. Sixth man of the year.
That's like saying, is Dennis going to gain 6 pounds on Easter? When it comes to, it's a given. It's going to happen. I mean,
what's your Easter dinner like? What do you have?
Lasagna, ham, grape leaves, probably mashed potatoes. Okay. You know, that other stuff. My mother-in-law is a fantastic cook.
Ah, okay. I don't think I've ever had a grape leaf.
That's the Arabic, you know what I mean? So
I gotcha.
So
I mean, it sounds good.
I mean, I didn't like them at first because, but after a while, I mean, stuffed with rice and beef and
Oh,
putting some lemon rolled up in a grape leaves.
that alone sounds good. So I
Yeah,
understand.
that's pretty good. It's good stuff.
Um,
And then you gotta figure like how many pieces of pie I'm gonna be eating and how many cookies I'm gonna be eating.
True. And how many? For me, it's those Reese's eggs.
Or Reese's eggs.
Yeah, especially for Easter.
Like anything, you can eat anything and just say, it's Easter.
Exactly.
It's like you wake up at 9 in the morning, you're eating a half a gallon of ice cream. It's Easter.
It's like Thanksgiving. Like I can eat whatever the hell I want because
Yeah, I do like Easter.
Yeah, it's fun. Got some nice colors to it. You got a big bunny and everything, and you got good food.
Yeah, I don't really care about the bunny. I just care about the only bunny I care about is the one with the caramel stuff in it.
Oh, those are good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, once you bite it, it hurts your teeth because
Yep.
it's so much sugar in it.
Oh yeah, and
And
it's
then
like hard
my
as a rock.
face gets all flush because I just got all that sugar going through me.
And then by like 3 p.m. you're asleep.
3, 1:30.
That too. But anyway, yeah, defensive player of the year, I have Bridges. Sixth man of the year, I agree with Tyler Hero. Most improved player of the year, I'm going Maxey. And then coach of the year, I'm giving it to Monty. I mean, he should have won it last year. So,
Yeah. I'm changing mine to that.
Yeah, he should have
And
won
now
it
that
last
you
year, so I'm giving it to him this year.
Now that you say hero, I'm just thinking about Meatball Hero.
Why do people call a sandwich a hero?
No clue.
It just sounds weird.
Submarine, hero,
Hoagie.
hoagie. It's like pop, soda,
Yeah.
and then water ice, Italian ice.
What's with the South calling soda just Coke?
Coke.
They call everything Coke.
It's the South.
But I'm just saying, like,
I don't think they're that smart.
good point. Good point.
Yeah.
I don't think I missed anything on there, but yeah. I think that's really it for us. We could talk about the whole Adam Silver thing next week with Mike and everything because it's not really a play.
I'm calling in sick. Can't make it.
Oh,
He's going to
okay.
be back.
Mike will have a solo episode next week. It would be 10 minutes long.
He can't even stay awake for 7 minutes in the show and not start twitching and fiddling his thumbs. No way he can.
Exactly.
One day though, I'll host,
All right.
and then you could do the dentist thing.
Okay.
So start eating, gain some weight, get a
Oh,
list.
I have to actually like look like you too.
Well, if you're going to be a good actor, you're going to play the part,
Oh, that's true. Like a method actor.
right? Like you got to get serious for this role.
It's like the opposite of what's his name that did Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman,
Yeah.
bro, he's the best Wolverine ever.
But all those workouts and like steroids he did to be.
I
Wolverine.
trained him for that role.
You trained him, or you gave him the steroids?
Yes,
All of the above.
yes.
On that note, I think that's it for us. Unless you have anything else to get off your chest.
I'm tired.
Yeah, me too. But that is it for us. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening another episode of the Atlantic Files podcast, the #1 podcast in the #1 division in the NBA, brought to you by the Underdog Sports Podcast Network. If you enjoyed the show, if you're watching on YouTube, drop a like below, hit the bell for the notifications because it lets you know when we go live.
Just
since our
fucking
schedule is different.
hit the follow button.
Exactly.
Like it literally would take you 2 fucking seconds to do it. Just do it.
Exactly. Follow, subscribe, share it with a friend too, because we need more of you guys on here to talk with us.
I don't want to work anymore.
Tyler, thank you. As
Thanks,
always,
Tyler.
appreciate it. We'll see you here next week as well, because we know you have to be here.
Imagine if Tyler was like up in 4th grade. Tyler, you have kids at school you could tell about the show?
Tell everybody.
Tell your teacher.
Everyone you know. I know he's not in high school. He graduated high school, but
Oh, I thought you were going to say he's in middle school.
no.
Kids listen to this.
I think we'd be in trouble if that happened.
Oh yeah. And I'd be fucking cops at the door. You're like, you got a fourth grader out here talking about OnlyFans and all that shit. I don't know what you're talking about. There's Mike Bash. He's your guy.
That's the one who's still doing taxes.
Yeah. He's a pervert.
On that note, thank you everyone for listening. We will catch you guys next week. Peace.